Once again, thank you, Robin. This is the point at which I'm supposed to introduce the guest speaker. And as I often say, some people need no introduction. So this is what I'm going to say. And if Robin has anything in particular she needs to share with you, she'll do that. So this is another quote, and it says that the true meaning of music is that it connects people. And I give you Robin Hackett, who connects people.
Ooh. Jan, thank you. Thank you for your meditation. Beautiful. And I'm very thrilled to be here and welcome to everyone. I've been assigned the task of speaking today on intuition, timing, and truth. So I'm going to break those down one at a time and have a quote by Ernest Holmes. Intuition is the voice of God within the soul of man. And that's from 365 Days of Richer Living. And it goes on to say further, intuition is not a product of the intellect, nor is it something which developed in the process of our evolution. It is a thing unto itself. That which is instinct in the animal, where they blindly, unerringly it leads them to their food, their water, their shelter. That becomes intuition in man. So instinct, the animal instinct becomes intuition in man, consciously perceived. And instinct is intuition acting unconsciously, and intuition is instinct elevated to the point of self-awareness. They are identical. Intuition is omniscient. Therefore, whether or not we believe it, it is ever present with us. And I love that. I absolutely love that. We've all had these moments where we just knew something, uh, a decision, a person to call, a direction to turn, and that knowing did not come from logic. It just came from somewhere. I'll call it somewhere, but we all know that it's spirit. It came from someplace much, much deeper. So, in science of mind, we understand that intuition is spirit's guidance speaking through our individualized consciousness. And Holmes said that it is spontaneous insight without logical thought. And when we're open and receptive, we hear that voice clearly. And I love that voice, and I've had lots of experiences with that voice. Um, the challenge can be most of us have been trained to ignore our intuition, or we're not sure about our intuition. Is it this or is it that? And so we ignore intuition and in favor of logic or fear or outside approval. But intuition, and I love this, is the sacred divine GPS. And that sacred divine GPS, I believe, is with us day in and day out, moment to moment. And this I really love. It knows your highest path even when your mind doesn't. It knows your highest path even when your mind doesn't. So for me, intuition was something that I wasn't aware of when I was younger. I didn't know what to call it. And when I was around 22 or 23 and I just graduated from college, in my mind, I wanted to move to New York City. So this is my second time, for those of you who know me or don't know me, this is my second time to be in New York. I lived in New York City for 20 years, starting at the age of 23. But when I first graduated from college, I let my wonderful father, who's a wonderful person, say, "Hey, stay. Why don't you stay home? Why don't you live around the family, which is in upstate New York?" And that was Utica, New York. And I ended up getting a job at Metropolitan Life Insurance Company. And that was the first time, and I did not know about science of mind, but that was the first time I got in touch with my intuition. But through the years, I've become very acquainted with it. and I'm sitting at my desk and I hear a voice. I've been working at this place a year and I hear a voice that says, "Move to New York." And I go, "What?" And that voice popped in again, "Move to New York." And I'm like, I'm at my desk working, and this voice is persistent in my mind, "Move to New York." And I'm thinking, how am I going to do that? And what happened was the voice answered, "Ask for vacation. See if you can take vacation." And so I felt like a robot. I felt like something was just pulling me. And now I know that was spirit, but I don't even know how I got up from my desk and I walked to my manager and I said, "Can I take vacation this Friday for a week?" And I think it was Tuesday. And I thought probably not going to happen, but that's what I asked. And she said, "I'll let you know by the end of the day." And by the end of the day, she did let me know. And she said, "Yes, you can take that vacation." So on that Friday, and I was excited that whole weekend in anticipation because now the divine spark had happened and my mind was just clicking. Oh, New York. Oh, that could be great. Da 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 da. That's the intention set in motion. That's the intuition that came through. And by Friday, I was on that Amtrak train to New York. I stayed with a friend, was able to set it up to stay with a friend. Sunday, I was on the New York Times classified ads because it was the New York Times back then. I don't know. Did we have computers? I don't know. Probably something. And I found a couple of jobs that I wanted to interview. And by that Monday, I called, got a couple of interviews. Tuesday, I went on the interview. Wednesday, I got offered a job. Thursday, I went back to upstate New York. And the following Monday, I put in my notice. And while all that was happening, a friend of mine found an apartment for me where he was told, no, it's too difficult to find apartments in New York. And he found an apartment for me for $400, a studio apartment on the west side, which is unheard of these days. And my whole point is that was the sacred divine GPS in movement. And I just felt like, I don't even know how it happened. I just was surrendered and I just went with the excitement. I went with the flow of it. And I feel like the sacred divine GPS is usually, for me, it's a clear small voice. It's calm, but it's persistent. It'll keep nudging at you. My experience through my life has been it causes excitement, a little bit of fear, but for me, its main component is that I feel expansive and I feel a joyful anticipation as to what's to come. So how do we cultivate that intuition? And Jan said it right off. As the years went on, when I moved to New York, I finally got into meditation and started following a path. And it's through spiritual practice and it's through the awareness that there is this one divine mind that is guiding all things, and we need only be and become aware of that divine mind. So we create the environment mentally, spiritually, physically. We create the space so that spirit can speak to us. And for me, that happens in meditation. Anytime I sit in meditation and I'm not sure about something, sure enough, an answer comes to me, or an impulse comes to me, or it says, do this next. Sure enough. So I don't know if many people, I'm sure a lot of you have experienced that, but meditation is the way for me. Stillness, visioning, and also journaling intentions. And as Jan mentioned, getting out in nature, and sometimes simply just going for a walk, and spirit will speak. And as I said, it's not, you won't really be confused. If I have confusion, or I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do, or there's this fear that comes up, or my mind starts doing this whole logic thing, and then I feel contracted and confused, and I know that that's not the voice of the sacred divine GPS. So sometimes we can simply ask the daily question, what is mine to do, Spirit? What is mine to do today? And listen for that still small voice. Trust it and then act on it. But just know the distinction. Just know the distinction. It will not, for me, it's never confusing. It's exciting and it causes that expansiveness. So the next part that we have, so we have intuition, our sacred divine GPS, and then we have timing. It's the divine right action. And Ernest Holmes says, we do not create the law, we use it. So I can equate this to my own life. Have you ever wanted something so badly and it just didn't happen no matter how hard you tried? And for me, that's my singing career, and it's my acting career, and all the creative stuff that I do. And I've been doing this for years, and I've been wanting my career to look a certain way and to be a certain way. It has not manifested. And so we can jump to the conclusion, oh, it's not meant for me. But Science of Mind says that timing isn't about delay, it's about alignment. So through the years, I've had lots of joy in my career, and lots of great things happen. But I've also been burdened with, why is it happening for that person and not for me? Or being fearful about it and like, oh, I've got to do this, or trying to push it along. And when that happens, or being in a panic state about it, or fear about it, this has to manifest now, then there's no opening for that sacred divine GPS to come on in and let you hear what it has to say, because there's so much clutter going on. So Ernest Holmes taught that the law responds to our consciousness. When our belief, energy, and awareness are in harmony with our intention, the manifestation appears. So forcing things out of timing is like pulling on a flower bud before it's ready to bloom. We damage the very beauty that we're trying to create. So when I think about that, now that I've returned to New York, this is my second time here, I've learned about Science of Mind. I've been in this teaching for 20 years. I can only say that now, with certainty, in my life, I have arrived at a space where I feel like I am aligned with spirit and aligned with my intention for how I'd like my career to be. And all that clutter and all the fear and all the panic is out of the way. And I'm in this joyful action and joyful expectancy. And I am finally allowing my sacred divine GPS to guide me. And I'm doing it joyfully and not with a lot of fear and panic. Divine delay is not denial, it's preparation. Divine delay is not denial, it's preparation. So I feel like I've been in preparation all these years. It feels like a long, long time, but I wouldn't give it back. I would not give it back. So while I don't even want to use the word wait, but it feels like we're waiting, Spirit is arranging the details and upgrading your belief system and opening doors. And I believe that to be true. And because I'm not waiting anymore, because there's a certain feeling for me that comes with the idea of waiting, but I'm just in joyous action and in joyous expectancy. I feel like doors are opening up. I feel certain that something wonderful is happening now with my career and about to happen. And I'm really excited about that. And I'm glad to be more in this peaceful place. Ernest Holmes says, think of it like a symphony. And this is perfect for me because I'm a musician. Every note has a place. If we rush it, it becomes noise. And that noise to me is panic, is fear, is when is it coming? But when we trust the divine rhythm, life becomes music. It becomes music, a wonderful symphony. So instead of saying, why is this taking so long? We can try, I trust the perfect unfolding of my good. I trust the perfect unfolding of my good. That's not impatience, which is another, I call it a weed that gets in the way, and it adds to the noise as well. is I trust the perfect unfolding of my good. And I feel like for me every day I want to commune with spirit every single day to keep me in the juices, to keep me in that flow and out of the panic and the fear and the what if and the doom and gloom. So I love this idea of timing. It feels like it's taken a long time in my life, but I'm okay with that. And there was a time that I was not okay with it. And it feels so wonderful to just be okay with this flow and what's happening right now. So we've had intuition, we're talking about timing, and our last part is truth, the changeless principle. The truth about you is that you are whole, perfect, and you are complete. You are abundant. You are worthy. All of it. So let's talk about the truth. In the science of mind, we define the truth not as facts or appearances, but as spiritual reality. The eternal, the unchangeable, the absolute. Because facts can lie, circumstances will deceive you, especially when you look at your bank account and it looks low. And for me, I can go into a panic about that. But truth is changeless. Truth is changeless. And when I talk about looking at your bank account and going, oh my gosh, and you go into a panic, once you hit that panic button, then once again, your sacred divine GPS can't get in there because fear is living there. The panic is living there. It can't get in and you can't hear because you're like revved up on panic and fear. So we want to also say that that changeless principle that we are is peace. It's wisdom. And when we affirm that for ourselves, then that door opens. We create that space and that environment for that sacred divine GPS to start shooting us inspiration, solutions, ideas, opportunities. People pop into our lives that we didn't expect, that add something to our intention for what we're looking for. You may see illness, but the truth is wholeness. You may experience lack, but the truth is abundance. I love that. And you may feel unworthy, but the truth is that you are divine. Now, I don't know, when I decided to use the word divine, and we know it's all through the science of mind, we are divine. What does that really mean? And I've only gotten in touch with that since I've moved back to New York. Divine makes you really walk a different way. It makes you think a different way. It makes you believe a different way. I mean, divine, it's magnificence. And to think of yourself, which I never did before, to think of myself as magnificent and as beauty and as knowing and as clarity and as powerful, because divine is powerful, is a game changer. That's a game changer for me. Absolute game changer. So we don't ignore the appearances, but we don't bow to them either. And we speak truth to the conditions. We affirm what is eternally true until it becomes our experience. We affirm what is eternally true until it becomes our experience. And I used to think, oh, how many affirmations can I do? Oh my gosh, nothing's happening, blah, 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 blah. But now that I've come to this place of joyful expectancy, and really, this is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be this ongoing struggle. It is supposed to be fun. It is supposed to be divine. Think of it as a divine investigation or divine discovery of your life, and it unfolding into that which you intend. And you intend that joyfully. You do joyful action towards that which you desire. And before, there was a time where I was not doing joyful action. I was like, oh, I've got to make it big. I've got to be a star. I've got to make $1 million. I was in that whole mental frame that happens in our business. Um, and to release all of that and to just be passionately doing and taking action for that which I love without all that clutter. Um, am I running out of time? I know I can talk a lot. No? Okay, good. And I have 100 examples of the divine, the sacred divine GPS working in my life. But another example was when I unexpectedly had to leave an apartment, and this was recent. It was abrupt, and it was really harsh. It was the landlord was a little crazy, and it was a place that I was subletting, and I loved it. It was on the Upper West Side. And I thought to myself, how will I find another apartment as quick as I needed to? But then I was reminded, because I went into panic, that panic is not helpful, but action is, spiritual mind treatment is, affirmation is, and aligning with spirit is what will work. And I'm getting quicker at it. I'm getting quicker at getting out of the panic mode or getting out of the fear mode, much quicker, and I can jump to my divinity, and I can jump to an affirmation, and I can jump to a spiritual mind treatment. So what happened, I do believe that manifestations happen out in the world when we're out with people, we're out enjoying life, and we're intermingling. Because what I do is that for any time I've needed a job or an apartment, I might just start speaking it out there and say, hey, by the way, I'm looking for an apartment. Hey, by the way, I want a new job, or whatever it is. Have you heard of anything? Da 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 da. And a lot of times it's through people that our manifestations happen. And sometimes if we don't let people know our intentions, then if we sit in our apartment or sit in our home and we don't speak it out to anyone, then nothing can happen. But I do believe that a lot of manifestations can happen through the other beings out there who are reflecting back to us our intention somehow or another, because we all are all one. It's one mind. So it's one mind out there with all the faces that we see or that we come in contact with. So that is exactly what I did. I just had it in my mind that I wanted to move. And of course, I always say this out of the blue, but it's not out of the blue. It's intention. It is never out of the blue. But I'll say it out of the blue. A friend of mine called and said, Robin, I'm moving out of my apartment. Do you want it? And I was like, wait, what? And of course, I went to see his apartment. I had been there before, and I had written down that I wanted no big deposit, and I needed rent that was going to be perfect for me. And the deposit was $500. That was it. It was $500 in New York, mind you, you guys. And then the rent was perfect for, it was a little higher than what I was used to spending, but the universe came to meet me. The universe came to meet me, and I was able to meet that financial obligation. And for me, when the sacred divine GPS is working, it feels almost like you're on a magic carpet ride. It really does. And every time I've experienced in my life the GPS, that sacred divine GPS, that's how it felt, and I can't forget it, and I'm so familiar with it now that I just know, oh, here we go. We're about to go on a ride. But you never know how it's going to unfold. You never know how it's going to unfold. So we remember through all of that, God is my source, and infinite supply flows to me now. So we treat, we affirm, and we let go. And that is the truth. That is the power of truth. That is the law. We treat, we affirm, and we let go. And so in closing, my friends, how do the three ideas come together? Intuition is how spirit whispers guidance. So once again, I've been talking about the sacred divine GPS. Remember that divine GPS is with you all the time. Timing is when life unfolds in harmony. Joyous action, joyous expectancy. and allowing Spirit to let it unfold, whatever that intention is or whatever you're desiring. And truth is what never changes. Truth is what never changes, and that is the fact that there is that invisible presence, that oneness that we all are, that Christ that lives inside of us, that Christ consciousness that lives inside of us, that divinity that lives inside of us. It's there all the time. We just sometimes forget. We do forget, and we want to remember. So we're going to do a little repeat thing here. I'm going to state, you are never alone, and then we're going to repeat, I am never alone. So let's begin with that. You are never alone. I am never alone. You are always guided. I am always guided. You are always supported. I am always supported. And I have to say this, that while I was practicing this talk, every time that I read these three things right here, I'm always supported, it's made me tear up, just like it's making me tear up right now. But to become aware that all of this is available to us, it's just, I'm overwhelmed with it. It's magical. It's absolutely magical. So I am always supported. And the last one is, you are always connected to the infinite source of all good. I am always connected, repeat, to the infinite source of all good. And in ending, I trust the wisdom within me. I move in harmony with divine timing. I stand in the unshakable truth that I am whole, guided, and free. And so it is. And so we can take this into prayer. And if you'd like to, you can take a couple of deep breaths, breathing in. I am. Think about what that thing is that you are, that intention that you hold. I am that. I am. And breathing in again, and thinking about that intention, that love, that peace. I am that. I am. And settling into the knowing and the oneness and the idea that there is only one mind, there is only one divine presence. All things emanate from that one mind, from that one divine presence, and that one divine presence, and that one divine mind is the manifester, the great manifester. And there is no thing, no one that you see that has not come from that great manifester. And we know right here and right now that I am part of that great manifester. I am one with the manifester. I am one with that word. I am aligned with it. I cannot be separated. It is from it. It is who I am right here and right now. And in knowing that, I know that I am always, always, always in tune, tapped in, turned on into my intuition, my sacred divine GPS system. I am always in the state and remembering and allowing that all is well and all of my good is coming to me right here and right now as I joyously move in action each day, and as I joyously live in expectancy each day, and I joyously give love, and I joyously know that love is all that I am. Love is all around. Good is all around me, emanating from me, through me, around me, to me. And I know that whatever intentions that I set, it is assured, it is certain that it shall be delivered unto me. It shall be delivered unto me, right here and right now. And I am so grateful to this universal law, to the great mind, to divinity, to the oneness that I am, that all is well. I give thanks to it. I rejoice in it. I dance in it. I play in it. I create in it. I am it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And together we speak and say out loud, and so it is.